They're very simple pieces of information and knowledge that you should know if you want to get better and break 90 pretty consistently. Now, most of that knowledge is very minor things that you can learn how to actually tweak and improve your game, which is what we want. And the first one is knowing knowledge of where are you actually hitting the ball on the club face. On the green. So where did I hit that on the club face? Was that a good hit? Was that a bad hit? Did I hit it off the toe? Did I hit it off the heel? Now, of course, we are always trying to hit out of the center of the club face, but we're not pros. So knowing the information on where you're hitting on the club face is going to give you the information on how to be more consistent and repeat the same shot shape that you've been hitting. So that one was a nice little baby draw. Where did I hit it on the club face? Center of the face. If you even take a wedge shot, it can be very valuable to know where am I hitting on the club face? Am I hitting high? Am I hitting off the toe? Am I hitting it low? Am I hitting off the heel? Because they're going to produce different flights, different results. And if you're not consistently hitting the same spot or knowing where you're hitting the same spot, well, then you're going to have a really difficult time with repeatability. So look at these two shots and tell me, where did I hit it on the club face? So where did I hit those two shots on the club face? Same result, two different ball flights, one high, one low. First one, the white one, I hit right off the toe. I popped it right up. Now, if you hit it off the club face, if you hit it off the toe with your wedge, a lot of the times they're probably just gonna fly right up. You can look that information up, I'm not a golf coach. But if I hit it off the center of the club face, well then it came out a little bit lower and I had to take some distance off of it because it's going to spring forward versus if I hit it off the toe, I need to put more muscle onto it. The knowledge of where you're hitting it on the club face applies to all of your clubs because you're hitting a slice or hitting it off the toe. What are you doing? If you don't know that information, it's gonna be very hard for you to play pretty consistently and to fix that problem once you actually recognize that it's a problem. So knowing this information is going to be a very good way for you to get consistently better. Look at that putt. Tips and nuggets of knowledge that I'm gonna give you today are just small increments that are gonna help you know, all right, what do I need to change or how do I be a little bit more consistent with my game? Did I hit it off the toe? Was my club face closed? Was my club face open? If you don't know, you're not gonna be able to repeat it or learn how to fix that mistake later in the round. And these are all pieces of knowledge that you need to fix. Next piece of knowledge that you need to learn how to be honest with yourself is, can I hit the shot that the hole is asking me to hit? So if this hole is asking me, all right, you need to hit a 200-yard shot, dead straight, or maybe even a slight draw, can I do that? Do you have that shot in the bag? If you don't have the shot in the bag, you need to ask yourself, well, what is the best shot that I have possible in my artillery versus how do I try to force a shot on this hole when I don't have that shot in me? So a lot of people that I played with here that don't break 100, they'll walk up, they don't have a 200-yard plus club that is going to ask them to hit a draw. So what do? Well, they just pull out the driver. How long does the driver go? They don't know. I spoke about that in another video. But you need to know, okay, well, what is my ball going to do? What is my driver going to do? Is my driver gonna go 200 yards if I hit it really well? Is my driver going to slice? Is my driver going to, am I gonna push it because I hit it off the toe like I spoke about on the last one? You need to know this knowledge so you can actually know, how do I play this hole? So if I don't have a 200-yard shot with a slight draw to it, what can I do? Can I hit a 180-yard shot? Maybe. Can I hit a 160-yard shot? Okay. How do I play this hole as a 160-yard shot? That's the piece of knowledge and information that you need to be realistic with. Because let me show you. So I hit a little baby shot out there, maybe like 150 yards. So if I don't have that shot in the bag, am I gonna try to force it? Well, no, because if I took driver and I went too long, then I'm gonna be in the fescue. Or if I hook it or slice it, well, then I'm gonna be in the woods, I'm gonna be out of bounds, and then I can't play the hole because I tried to play the hole the way the hole was trying to get me to play, if you know what I'm saying. So instead, you have to be realistic with what can I do? And if you can't do it, you gotta be creative with your play style, which is good, but I can still play the hole and I can potentially still make a par. So now I have to chip one because I can't play this as a par 4. I turn it into a par 5, and that's a reality that we have to accept. Oh, it's a little long. So now my third shot is a wedge shot. We're not on for a birdie chance, but that is fine because we didn't lose the ball. You gotta remember that bogeys over bomb. And by doing that, you're going to consistently get better results. And that's all you need, small percentage. Now you'll notice that here, I still have a chance for a par, even though it's very far, because I fucked that wedge shot up. But I still have a chance for a par versus if you hit it out of bounds, you hit a shot behind a tree, there's no chance for you. But if you string enough shots like this together, eventually you're gonna land one next to the hole and you're gonna be racking up those pars. But even bogeys are better than eights. Remember, bogeys over bomb. That was a bad putt. Can we make this? Of course we can. Now, alongside being realistic of what you can actually do, one of the pieces of knowledge that you should know is where does my ball start and where does it end? So I'm gonna say you're a slicer, because most people are. Does my ball start left and end in the middle? Or does it start in the middle and end to the right? So if it starts to the left and ends in the middle, let's say you're a consistent slicer, it doesn't go very far, but you know where it's going to end. You may end up in a position where, there is a tree on my left during my start line. What am I gonna do? Well, it may be reality that you can't actually play your driver here because you're going to potentially hit that tree. And even adding the risk of hitting that tree, is it worth it to take it? Probably not. Now I know most of you will because you're like, well, what if I don't hit that? Okay, what if? What is the reward versus what is the risk? Now what you can do is, depending on where your start line is, well, that can also dictate where am I gonna start it in this tee box. Don't always put it in the middle. You can put the ball over here, and if you're a slicer, well, now this tree is not really a problem. But if I end up in the middle, well, this tree suddenly becomes a problem because my start line and my end line is, well, straight ahead, and I know it has to go to the left. Versus if I started here, well, now my angle is to the right of the tree, and I know it's going to fade back to the middle. And if I started over here, well, obviously I have zero chance of slicing it without going into the woods. Instead, I'm gonna start this side and aim it to the right. So my start line is a little bit different. And just like that, I pulled it, I topped it, but you know what? It's safe because I aimed over there. Now, if you don't know where your ball is starting and where it's ending, I don't know, that's simple knowledge to know. Now, the next piece of information that is very valuable to know is where is the putt that is not gonna break? If you know that piece of information, you'll know exactly where my ball is and where it's gonna break. Let's imagine it was breaking more. But if I said that the straight putt was right here, is it uphill or is it downhill? And then from there, you can know which way that the ball is going to go. So if it's uphill, well, obviously it's going to break a little bit to the left. And if it's downhill, well, then you're probably going to trickle it in to the right, in a general sense. Oh, I got sweat in my eyes and it's burning. No way, Jesus Christ. Birdie? Oh, you left it short, bitch. Now, another piece of information that is very valuable to most people, once you let your ego get out of the way, is, am I having fun or not? So if I am having fun, then you are playing the correct tees. If you are not having fun, then it's probably time for you to move up. Because if you're constantly slicing it, hitting it out of bounds, and constantly angry over it because the hole now is 50 yards longer than the next tee and you have to hit driver, you're not gonna have a good time. So why are you playing from that set of tees? Because playing from different tee boxes is going to require a different set and a different approach. Most people that are not breaking 100 are probably just picking their driver out every single hole, regardless of the tee distance. But from there, I would need driver. But from back here, I could use an iron. And I could have a lot more fun if I'm hitting more fairways. Alternatively, if you are just too bored playing the tees, well, you can move back a set of tees. And if you're hitting more shots inbounds, we're then gonna have a much more fun time. And that's what golf is all about. Golf is about having fun, challenging yourself, but not getting angry and upset and hating golf every single round. It's a sport, it's a game. You're not on the PGA Tour. If you are on the PGA Tour, trying to get on the PGA Tour, well then yeah, you're probably gonna need to play some distances further back once you know how. But for most of us, accepting that, hey, this is my skill level, and this is where I find most enjoyment out of the game, is where the set of tees that you should play. If that's from the blue tees, play the blues. If that's from the whites, play the whites. If that's from the reds, play the red. But if you are letting your ego say, well, I'm a man, and I don't want to play from the lady tees in the front because then I won't feel like a man, and then I'm going to go shoot a 124 and be upset the entire day. Why do that? You know, just go move up a set of tees and have fun. Even if your friends aren't playing it, it doesn't mean that you have to go back there where they are. And the reality is, if most of you are shooting in the 100, well, I mean, if you are comfortable with being in the whites or the blues and shooting over 100 all the time and you're having fun, have fun, do that. If you like scoring well and that's gonna make you have fun, well then figure out the set of tees that are going to be better. It's also important to remember that you need to check the yardages of the course, because the white tees at this course, let's say they're 6,000 yards. If I go to another course and and I play the white tees, they could be 6,400 yards. They could be 5,300 yards. You don't know. But finding the yardage that you are most comfortable playing is where you're gonna have the most consistent fun. That was a terrible chip. I mean, it was all right, but that was pretty terrible. Why? Because I hit it pretty high on the face and it just kind of went out to the right. So consistent yardage is more important than finding the right set of tees. But if you don't know what set of tees are good for you, well then play a hole from the reds, see how it feels. Play a hole from the green, from the white, see how it feels. And once it stops being enjoyable, well, that's where you know, okay, well, that's my set of tees that I should play from. Once you start to learn what is wrong with my swing, where am I hitting it on the club face, where's my balance at the end, well, then you can start to take very minor tweaks during your round. Now, you never want to take a swing change your swing through the round. Most of your rounds are going to be bag golf. You're going to have to play with whatever it is that you are playing with that day, which is fine, that's normal. If I normally push it and today I'm pulling it, okay, well, I need to readjust my course management through pulling it. But once you know, so let's say you were constantly pushing your shots, well then either small tweaks that you can make, very simple, change your alignment, maybe a minor adjustment to your grip. But most of the time, you really just want to change your alignment as your course management swing change. Once you start doing things like changing your grip or not lifting your head, swinging around your body, once you start doing those things, well then your swing is just going to get worse. So making very minor tweaks is how you really want to try to approach making any tweak on the course. But ideally, change your alignment, do the same swing that you've been doing all day, and it'll work out. Look at that. Nice little bomb right down the middle. Unfortunately, this is my last tip because my microphone's about to die, because I'm stupid and I didn't charge it, and because I'm stupid is because I just had a baby and I can't think straight. Now, the last tip is, should you go for it or should you lay up? Even on a par 4 or on a par 3. Now let's look at this hole. There are bunkers. I know there's bunkers and ditches all around the green except for in the front. Now if I have a shot here where it's 160 and I haven't hit a green all day, should I go for it? Well, the question is, how confident are you with where your ball is going to end up with your 160 club? Because if I know I have a two-way miss with my 160 club, is it better for me to go for this and potentially leave myself short-sided or in a bunker or in a ditch, or just lay up to the front and chip on for an easy chip? I'm gonna take 2 shots and we're gonna test them out. I'm going to just chip one like I'm under a tree with my 5-iron, and I'm just gonna leave myself with a nice easy wedge right in the front, potentially even being able to putt it. So because the reality is, if you gave yourself 10 shots from here, and I even left that, I didn't even chip that well, but if I left myself 10 shots from here, well, which one is more likely to get on the green for a better chance, for a par chance? And which one is more likely to introduce a bad result or a blow up? You have to ask yourself, what is my confident club? Is this a confident shot? if it's not a confident shot, what's my next most confident club? And by choosing most of your confident clubs, you are going to be scoring much better versus choosing an unconfident club and hitting and hoping. So from here, I mean, you could chip this, you could even putt this, all right? Because it's very firm out today, it's very dry. It is pretty far, but you could do it. Versus over there, you only have one option. You hit a great chip shot from the rough over the bunker, short-sided. And that is a pro level shot. So I'm on the green and we have a par putt chance. You could even putt this, or you could even just bump and run it up there. Just gonna bump and run a little 9-iron over there. Once again, we got a par chance right next to the other one. Now let's go see that one, 1-inch thick. But if it's wet, that's going to deter you for that day, for that shot. And potentially leaving yourself in the bunker is gonna give you an even harder shot from the short. Yep. And now we are slightly off the green. So laying up in that case was an easier option versus choosing the unconfident club and putting yourself in a bad position. Know your stuff.